What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I'd like to say I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency, not letting no negative energy stop y'all positive energy. And as you can see by the title, I want to talk to y'all about why right now is not the time to get into any long-term toxic financial relationships. And what I mean by long-term toxic financial relationships is just like you have a regular relationship and it's toxic, or you may be talking to somebody and you already see that it's toxic. So before you get in that relationship, when you're in the talking stage and y'all arguing already, all this drama and this and that, all this stuff's going on while y'all are in the talking stage, you're gonna want to avoid that relationship because you see that it's toxic, right? Same thing with like financial relationships. Financial relationships being a car note, you have to lease, you're leasing a car or rent. And what I mean by toxic relationships with these things, like say for instance, you're leasing a car, right? And it's a long-term lease for multiple years. And you're barely in the beginning of that long-term relationship. Because now that you have to pay this bill every month, it's a relationship now. You got to do this shit every month. You have to do the same shit, the same routine, or you have to get money, accumulate money to pay this. So it's a long-term relationship. It's a long-term financial relationship. And you don't want to get into any long-term toxic financial relationship. Toxic being like you're paying it late. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be stressful. It's going to be very stressful. So you paying it late, that's toxic. It's toxic. You paying the bill late, and, or it's 2 months adding up. You haven't paid it. You behind 2 and 3 months. So now when you do get some money, it's going right to the bill. It's going right to the bill. You know what I'm saying? That's a toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a regular relationship. Y'all arguing and doing all this shit, that's toxic. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a relationship you're going to want to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with your finances. You don't want to be getting into any long-term financial relationships that are toxic. Toxic being you paying the car note late, you paying your car insurance late. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to maneuver around these things so you can keep your vibration high. You don't want to have your vibration low. Because when you're vibrating low, and this was going on in society, right? And I'm facing this way so I can focus my energy. I don't want to give my energy to nobody, you know what I'm saying? So this was going on in society though, right? When people are behind on bills, when people are stressed out about how they're going to pay this, about how they're going to pay that, they're putting out a lot of negative energy, right? And when you put out, what you have to be aware of about energy, when you put out negative energy, you're going to get back negative energy, right? So if you're putting out negative energy, you're mad because you have to pay this bill. And you have to also, what you also have to realize is you're not the only one that's feeling any type of way about these bills. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you a couple seconds ago, I'm facing this way, so I won't give my energy to nobody. I want to give my energy to this video, give this energy to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So you're not the only one that's going through whatever you're going through with these bills, because people have to pay bills as well. Even if you have, because what a lot of people fail to realize too, when people start getting more money, that's why I tell y'all to live below your means so you can get ahead. When people start getting more money, they feel like, okay, I took up a few hours at my job, I'm making a couple extra bucks, or I got another job now. Instead of them just holding on to that money, they'll be like, let me get into this long-term financial relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because it may be good in the beginning. It may be good in the beginning, right? You get in this relationship, you get more hours, you got 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for you to pay for that new car, that new Mercedes car note, that new Mercedes insurance. It's easier for you to pay for whatever you leasing. You know what I'm saying? Because you may be leasing some furniture, anything, whatever you leasing, right? It may be easier for you to pay for that because you got 2 jobs now, right? But say something happens, something changes with your finances. And not saying that you want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Not speaking that over you or nothing like that, but at the same time, this is the matrix. You have to be prepared for anything. So say you get into one of these long-term financial relationships, and it's good in the beginning because you got another job and all this shit. And then once you lose that job or something changes with your income, that relationship becomes toxic. And you can't do nothing about it now because you already been paying it. You already invested so much into this, into your car. You damn near feel like you own it because you've been paying all this damn money on it. You putting gas in it every day. You're repairing it. But same time, that's not your vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Same time, it's not your furniture. Same time, that's not, you know what I'm saying, etc. whatever relationship, toxic, whatever financial relationship you may be getting in. And you want to avoid these relationships. You know what I'm saying? You want to avoid these relationships because our society is unpredictable right now. And you don't want to get into no long-term financial relationship and something changes with your income and then you be more stressed out. Because once you're stressed out, you're going to be putting out negative energy. Like I told y'all previously. Once you start putting out this negative energy, you're going to get back negative energy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people aren't conscious of this shit because they're not conscious of energy. And they call it karma, etc. But it's all energy, you know what I'm saying? So once you put out this negative energy because you're mad you have to pay bills and all this stuff, you're going to get back that negative energy. And that's why society is so much negativity in society, and the world is like, you know what I'm saying? The world is full of so much hatred because we're working and we're paying these bills. And people are putting out this energy because, you know what I'm saying, they may be stressed out, they're fed up, and everybody's feeling this shit. Even if you're a millionaire, bro, you still have to pay for shit. When you have more money, that's why I said, even if you're getting more money, it's still best to live below your means so you can be at peace. Because say you start getting more money, like I just said, right? You start getting more money and you feel, okay, I'm getting some more money. Let me get into one of these long-term financial relationships. Anybody, you can be a millionaire, fuck around, come across this video, or fuck around and think like this. You get into a long-term financial relationship and then the money you got coming in that's making you a millionaire starts slowing down. And then it's going to be stressful because now you have to go into your savings, or now you got to figure out how you're going to pay this shit because you're in a relationship. You have to pay this lease. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay this. You have to continue to pay this to own the shit, or you're going to lose it. You already been putting money into the shit, so it's going to feel like more of a loss if they come and snatch your car, repo your car, or you get evicted. You know what I'm saying? Or you trying to pay a house off or something and they come and snatch this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a long-term toxic relationship, long-term toxic financial relationship, you know what I'm saying? It was toxic. You know what I'm saying? So they come and snatch the shit, that's gonna lower your vibration. You know what I'm saying? And besides the fact that it's gonna lower your vibration, before it even gets to that point, if it even gets to that point, God forbid it even gets to that point that they come and snatch your shit or anything like that. But before it even gets to that point, you're gonna be stressed out trying to keep this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still paying for it, etc. You know what I'm saying? So, especially how society is right now, and I'm facing this way because, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to give my energy to nobody but the video so y'all can get the message, you know what I'm saying? But how society is right now, right? You want to avoid any long-term toxic financial relationships and any toxic relationships, period. Anything that's going to be lowering your vibration, avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Avoid it. Anybody that's going to be lowering your vibration, avoid them. Any situations that's going to be lowering your vibration, avoid them. Get out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's lowering your vibration, obviously it's not meant for you. Obviously, God has something different for you. God has something better for you. That's not going to be lowering your vibration. It may be a job. It may be anything. You know what I'm saying? But this video is about the toxic financial relationships. Because society is full of a lot of negative energy, man. A lot of negative energy. And we're all feeling this shit. We're all, you know what I'm saying? Even if you up and you got money, you know what I'm saying? You even probably notice, like, you go to the grocery store, shit's costing more. You know what I'm saying? You driving, trying to go places. It's a lot of negative energy. It feels like real crowded. If you stay in the city, it's real crowded. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of confusion. And two, when you stay in the city, it's easy to overlook a lot of shit when you live in the city. You know what I'm saying? When you live in the city, it's easy to overlook a lot of shit because everybody's just hustling and bustling, trying to get money so they can pay their bills and pay for their expenses. So it's easy to overlook a lot of stuff in the city. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to think everybody you see in traffic is a real person in the city because you're not thinking like that. You're just thinking like, damn, everybody's trying to get this money like I'm trying to get this money and going to work like I'm going to work. So everybody, you thinking everybody's a real person in the city, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to overlook a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to overlook a lot of shit because everybody's just in the motherfucking matrix in the rat race, you know what I'm saying? But besides all that, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more too, but besides all that, it's a lot of negative energy, and it's because of how society is, you know what I'm saying? It's because how society is. Because a lot of people are, you know what I'm saying, not only living above their means, but a lot of people are getting into these long-term toxic financial relationships. Card notes and all this shit. You have to do what you have to do. to get back and forth to work. I seen a video on YouTube, and it was this lady. She leased a vehicle, right? She leased a little, little Toyota or something like that, like a little 4Runner, little Toyota SUV, and her payments was like $599 to like $499 a month, bro, for like, nigga, for like 32 years or some shit like that, for like 427 years. 427 months. Some wild shit. I'm like, damn. And not being smart. Some people don't give a fuck about their credit and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you gotta lease a motherfucking sign some shit and you gotta lease some shit, and you know what I'm saying? And you know you can just get the shit off your credit or fix the shit somehow, you gotta do what you gotta do. But at the same time, you don't wanna get into no, if you plan on paying that shit, that's crazy. If you're getting into a long-term toxic financial relationship and you're planning on, see, I know we have to do what we have to do. You may have to just get a car note, you know what I'm saying, sign some shit or whatever, and you may not be able to go through with that agreement. You may know that, but you just got to get this motherfucking car so you can get back and forth to work, so you can stack you some money. You may have to dodge repo for a couple months, for a month or two, so you can stack you a couple of dollars and get your own shit. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you in a long-term toxic relationship with a lease, toxic financial relationship with like a lease, car note or something like that, you want to try to ease your way out that situation, out that relationship. You want to try to ease your way out that relationship. You want to try to get out that car note situation. You know what I'm saying? Leasing and all that shit that's regular with an apartment and all that shit. But like as far as like, when I say toxic, I'm talking about shit that you're trying to pay and you're struggling to pay it. Even if you in an apartment and you got like a studio, or you got like a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom or something like that, and it's toxic because you paying this shit late. It's a toxic relationship and you have to pay this shit. You don't want to get no derogatory marks on your credit report and all this shit, right? So you have to pay this shit. So you don't want to motherfucking not pay this shit. So you stressed out, you trying to pay this shit every month. And I'm still facing this way. Like I told y'all, don't even worry about that though. You don't want to get stressed out and not pay this shit. So you making sure you pay this shit every month. You don't want to not pay this shit and fuck around and get some shit on your credit report. So you stressed out making sure you pay this shit every month. But it's toxic though, because you can't afford this shit. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is try to ease yourself out that situation. Because just because you can't afford this shit and that being toxic, you may be putting out a bunch of negative energy. You may get in your car and instead of you just driving, because this is what people be thinking while they're in the vehicle. I came to this conclusion. Say if you're driving and you just mind your business, you driving just peaceful, and the motherfucker they may have a bill late, or they may just feel like they're going to feel like you stopping them from getting their fucking money. You know what I'm saying? If you're driving, just minding your business on the road and you have peace, you just calm, and the motherfucker is full of a bunch of negative energy because they feel like they gotta pay these bills. They gotta pay bills and they gotta pay for all this shit. They're going to be feeling like you in the motherfucking way. They're going to be feeling like you slowing them down from getting money and shit. And that's what a lot of that is going on in society. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, it's just a lot of negative energy being put out, period, because people have to pay these bills and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they have to pay these bills. The relationships are toxic because this is how society is set up. They're not going to pay you enough on the jobs for you to have money to be good. And now you don't have to go to work. Because then who the fuck's going to work for these companies and keep the people that are rich? You know what I'm saying? They're getting rich off of us working. And once we realize that these motherfucking companies and all this shit, they're getting rich off of us working, and once we unite, then we can get some change around this bitch, but they're not going to stop. So until people see this shit, you want to make changes yourself so you can be better off in society and live a more peaceful life. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a higher vibration, because you don't want to be going around just putting out a bunch of negative energy because you mad because you got to pay all these bills. You're not the only one that has to pay bills. You're not the only person that's feeling this shit. You know what I'm saying? So instead of putting out a bunch of negative energy, just prepare. Just make changes. Start living below your means. Avoid any long-term toxic financial relationships. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to make this video too long. We have 14 minutes. But avoid any long-term toxic financial relationships. Because it may be good right now. You may be getting some hours right now. Your manager looking out for you right now, giving you some hours right now. And you feel like, oh, okay, let me go get a new car, or let me go get this and let me go get that. And I could just keep on paying this shit. And then something changed on your job. Your manager get divorced from his wife or something. Now the nigga don't want to give you no hours. Or now your company get bought out by a new company. Anything can happen. My company just got bought out by a new company. That's not changing shit with my situation, but I'm just saying though, anything can happen. Shit be happening random. You know, this the matrix. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? You may motherfucker be working for a company or you or or the owners, they fuck around and switch owners, now it's new management. And now they cutting everybody out. Anything. And now you in a long-term relationship, a long-term financial relationship, and then that shit becomes toxic. Because now it's like, then all the money you was getting, working all your hours, you're getting your 40 hours a week, so you got money to pay for this shit. Yeah, it's cool. Now something changes that you have no control of, like your hours or the money, your income. You have no control of this shit. This shit just changes. You start getting less hours. There's nothing you can do about this shit. Your company starts getting less hours, production rate slows down, etc. You start getting less hours. Workflow slows down. You still have to pay for that shit because you're in a long-term financial relationship. You signed your name. You got to pay this shit for 18 months. You was, okay, we're going to be good. You know, me and my manager are cool. You know what I'm saying? It's busy at work right now. It's cool. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and get this. Let me get a new car. Instead of me driving this car and just locking in and just driving this little beater, trying to add it up, trying to, you know what I'm saying, get my bag right. I'm getting a couple dollars. Let me get a car. No, let me just go ahead and get a new car. Fuck it. Get a new car. Don't do that because your situation might change on the job, etc. And then you may not be getting that money to be able to take care of that. That's going to be very stressful. You're going to be putting out a lot of negative energy. And once you start putting out that negative energy, you may forget. You may forget because it's the matrix. You may fuck around and start putting out some negative energy. Then you forget that, damn, it's all energy. Once I start putting out this negative energy, I'm going to get this shit right back. You start putting out the negative energy, then you start getting this shit back. Then it's a cycle. You road rage, you doing all this shit, you know what I'm saying? You trying to, you know what I'm saying, do all this bullshit to get money, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do, and this is matrix. If you figure out a way to motherfucking maneuver through this shit and figure out a cheat code or something, you gotta do what you gotta do. Cause it's set up for us to be fucked up in society. It's set up for us to be putting out all this negative energy, working these jobs, not getting paid enough to pay for the shit that we have. So therefore, we're putting out this negative energy because they don't want us putting out the positive energy. Like I told y'all, the beings that are running this shit, they feed off our negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody we see, these politicians, elections, all that shit, they're just puppets, man. They're just puppets, and you shouldn't give your energy to none of that shit. You should be worrying about how you're going to experience this reality, live this life, and keep your vibration at a high vibration without giving negative energy to this matrix, because they want you to be vibrating low and have a bunch of negative energy. That's why we have to go to work, and that's why, and nothing's wrong with going to work. Same time, we're not supposed to be working these jobs and paying bills, period. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in your career and all that shit, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. You're doing something you like to do and you're getting paid for that shit, that's cool. We ain't supposed to be working and paying bills and all that shit, no way though. But they want us to be working these jobs and they have it set up so you're not making enough to be comfortable. And with you being uncomfortable, you're going to be putting out a bunch of negative energy. And with you putting out a bunch of negative energy, they can feed off of that negative energy. The beings that are running this simulation that we're living in, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to do things, make little changes in your life so you can keep your vibration high, so you can keep your energy positive. You know what I'm saying? Changes being like living below your means. Don't be getting into no long-term toxic financial relationships. Don't get into no long-term financial relationships because those long-term financial relationships can turn toxic. Now you can't pay for the car note. Now you can't pay for the spot. Now you can't pay for this and that. You're going to be putting out a bunch of negative energy, you know what I'm saying? And then when you put out that negative energy, it's going to come right back to you. You know what I'm saying? And then it's going to be a cycle of negativity. Then you could be able to manifest. You're going to be able to bring no positive stuff into your reality. Excuse me. You got to realize this. When you're trying to manifest, all you're doing is bringing your thoughts into reality. And you have to have positive energy to do that. You can't bring your thoughts into reality with a bunch of negative energy. You mad because somebody's cutting you off. You hucking the horn, all this shit. You trying to cut a motherfucker off. You tailgating. You brake checking, all this shit. All that shit is going to lower your vibration. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is going to lower your vibration. And when you vibrating low, you can't bring no positivity into your life. And a lot of people are doing this shit in society because the bills, they're not getting paid enough. They have they're in all these relationships, financial relationships that are toxic. You got to pay for this shit. You got to pay for this shit. Just bills. Shit that you don't need. Just minimize your expenses. Start Start getting out of these relationships, out of these toxic situations. Okay, I got this car note. I see I'm paying this shit late. You know what I'm saying? Etc. Or you may be paying your shit early. If you can avoid that situation all in all, just avoid it. Because anything could change with society. Anything could change with society. And then what? If some shit happens in society that you have no control over, what the fuck you gonna do if you have a car note, all this shit you have to pay for, and then you can't control what happened in society, and you still have to pay for this shit, and then they come snatch your shit, and you're gonna be like, damn, what the fuck you gonna do then? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make this video too long. I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.